Hey guys, this is Sydney from Teenage Critic, and coming up on today's show, we're going to head over to the Rhode Island International Film Festival. And after that, we have a piece for Food for Thought, and then going way back to a Best Of segment, and a bunch of other cool stuff, so stick around. Hey, this is Sydney, and we're at Thayer Street, which is one of our favorite places to shoot. And I'm actually in front of the Avon Cinema, and it's not your typical theater. It shows like kind of artsy, vintage, intellectual films, not just, your typical new releases. It's been around since the 1940s, which is really cool. And inside, it's even cooler. So I would definitely check that out. And speaking of theaters, a couple of our crew members went to the Rhode Island International Film Festival. So we're heading over there now, so check it out.
Hey, this is Alyssa, and you're watching Teenage Critic. I'm here at the Veterans Memorial Auditorium, where we're here for the Rhode Island International Film Festival. I'm actually a member of the youth jury, but first we're going to check out this gala and talk to some of the filmmakers, so stick around. Hey guys, so I'm with Graham Carter, who's actually in charge of the youth film jury this year. So is this your first year running this, or you've been doing this for a while?
Well, this is my first year running the youth jury. I've been a member of it for 2 years. And it's great. I mean, this is the largest youth jury we've ever had. There's 25 in it, and last year we had about 8. So it's a big, it's sort of a really new concept. It's like a learning experience for the most part, because it's just like trying to shepherd around 25 kids throughout Providence. So.
Now the kids in the youth film jury, do they vary in film experience and types of experiences?
They really do, yeah, and they vary in what they want to do in the film industry. Some of them want to be creative and be directors and editors and things like that. Some of them want to work in the film business and be, development, and some want to be screenwriters, and some just like movies, and that's why they join. So.
Now tell me a little bit about your own background in film.
Well, I've always been interested in film, and I go to the University of Southern California for studying film right now. So I've always wanted to be in the film industry. Right now it's looking like, I'm sort of just going where the wind takes me, but I'm interested in development, studio, types of working in a major studio.
And you said that you were part of the jury when you were a little bit younger. Do you think that the youth film jury here at the Rhode Island International Film Festival had any influence or nurtured your love for film?
Yeah, I definitely think it did. Being a part of the jury, we see pretty much nearly all the films that are submitted to the festival. And so we're exposed to a lot of different types of films, documentaries, short films, and, feature length. And, I think it being exposed to those types of films definitely helped me see, what I wanted to do, what types of films I wanted to make.
Sounds good. Good luck with everything, and I'll let you get back to work.
Okay, thank you very much. It was nice talking to you.
So this is Alyssa, and you're at the Rhode Island International Film Festival. I'm here with Kendra and Joseph, and they're going to tell us a little bit about why they're here. So Joseph, you can tell us first, why are you here tonight?
My film, entitled Sunday, is playing opening night. The film is about two friends of diverging paths.
And Kendra, why are you here tonight?
I'm here tonight because I play the female lead in the film, and I wanted to come out and support Joseph, and it's my first film festival.
Now, where are you guys from?
We are from Toronto.
Big T.O.
Oh, wow. So you guys traveled a lot to be here tonight.
Yes, we did. It was about a 9-hour car ride.
10 hour for me. My mom couldn't stop to go to the bathroom, so she kept calling.
So tell me a little bit about your actual film that's premiering tonight.
The film is based off of true life events, like real life events, but it's mostly about the theme how best friends can be together and not realize they're in love with each other.
And where did you get the inspiration for this film? Just real life, or?
From a real life experience of a friend of mine who I was very deeply in love with, and she went to university and I never talked to her ever again.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. How excited, though, are you to have your film be playing tonight?
It's great. Rhode Island, since I was 9 years old with my first film when I was here, have supported me through my whole 12 film career. It's been truly amazing what they've done for me.
Wow, congratulations. And Kendra, are you an actress by profession, or is it just something you do on the side?
I am a professional actress in Toronto. I've done a bunch of Canadian kids shows and a couple guest spots that have aired here in the States, but this is my first short film and my first film festival, so I'm really excited.
Congratulations, that's so exciting. Now, where do you hope to ultimately have your film career take you?
Well, the film career in terms of where I want to take it will be mostly to direct studio films and make sure my stories will be able to see to a wider audience. I love the fact that distribution companies and studios can give you the opportunity to share your stories on a wider scale. So I intend to be a studio director if I can.
Now, in the United States, it's a huge problem that in a lot of our high schools, they're cutting arts programs, including filmmaking, including music. How important is it, do you think, that kids still have the opportunity to take classes in filmmaking and music and the arts?
I think that if they're cutting an arts program, they're getting rid of a huge level of expression that people could, like me, I was very interpersonal when I was in school. I never really talked to anybody, but the main thing is through the arts I found the confidence to be able to express what I felt and convey and communicate to people on a different level that I was not even able to expect to do. So that's the goal. You want to?
Yeah, I 100% agree. I would not be here doing what I do if it hadn't been for the teachers who spent the extra hours and who got the funding to do school shows and choirs and the whole experience. I think it's a shame. I think that people don't understand that they're really putting a generation at a disadvantage by not letting them participate in the arts.
I couldn't agree more with you guys. Thank you so much for talking with us, and congratulations about tonight.
Thank you.
Hey, I'm here with Jeffrey, who is a filmmaker and the #1 filmmaking blog in China. And what's your name? Jing. Nice to meet you. All right, so tell me a little bit about your film that's going to be playing.
My film is called Anniversario, and it's a tragic love story that I shot in Argentina, and it's about taking the opportunity to say I love you for the very last time. And I'm very proud of it, and I'm very happy to be here at the Rhode Island Film Festival.
And why did you choose Argentina to film your movie?
It's my 4th movie I've shot in Argentina, and they're just very passionate people. I grew up in a French family, and I just find a very similar kind of approach to life, and very much into art and love and life. So,
now tell me, where did you get the idea for this film?
it's based on a true haircut. It's based on a haircut that I had in Argentina, and I walked out of the salon and I wrote the film. And I was inspired, and I figured, if you're inspired, you can do anything. And I came back a year later and made the movie.
Awesome. Now tell me a little bit about your work. China, that's a long place away. Why did you decide to come to the Rhode Island International Film Festival?
Actually, now it's on my traveling, and this is my summer vacation. Actually, I have my college education in Georgia, and that's the vacation, and I just come here to meet my friend. And the Rhode Island International Movie Festival is big surprise. Yeah. Well, there is a film festival. Actually, this is my first international movie festival, so I'm so happy with this. And I'll write down every detail of this film festival and tell all the Chinese people how wonderful they are. Yeah.
And you write a blog about filmmaking, and it's apparently the biggest filmmaking blog in China.
I think now my blog within the China's most popular film website is called Time. Just means Times. And in that blog, and you can write everything about film. And my favorite is the old classic movie, James Stewart, and something like that. So you can write everything you like. And there are many my friends around me. They are all genius.
Well, that's very exciting. And do you plan on going to any more film festivals in the United States during the summer?
This summer, I don't have any plan, but I really like to go to the Sundance movie festival. Yeah, that's what I dream of.
Well, thank you so much for talking to us, and it was nice talking to you as well.
Thank you so much.
And have a great time tonight.
Thank you.
Hey guys, so this is the finishing night of the Rhode Island International Film Festival. We're going to head on over to the block party, but first I want to say I've had a great time hosting this show today and also being part of the youth film jury. So until the next time, you're watching Teenage Critic.
next is one of my heart-to-hearts, and I think this one is going to be pretty interesting, so you're going to want to stick around. Hey guys, this is Cindy, and today in Heart to Heart, I'm going to be talking about overcoming your fear. So before I begin, I just want to share, I did some research on the types of phobias that are out there, and these are real phobias that people have actually been diagnosed with. So you've got the usuals like aviophobia, which is the fear of flying, which makes sense, arachnophobia, which is the fear of spiders, and I found some pretty interesting ones. Anglophobia, the fear of England. Allodoxophobia, which is the fear of opinions. Anthrophobia, the fear of flowers. Calinophobia, which is the fear of beautiful women. Consolatellophobia, which is the fear of chopsticks. Dendrophobia, fear of trees. And lastly, Zemophobia, the fear of the great mole rat. Okay, well, I like to be organized with my thoughts, so I just grabbed a piece of paper and a pen, which I'm going to use to help myself overcome my fear. So my fear is spiders, which is arachnophobia. So I'm going to write in big letters, spiders. Spiders. Okay, now you're going to ask yourself, what is the absolutely worst thing that could possibly happen? And you can be like totally dramatic with this. So for spiders, it would probably be that I go into my bathroom and I see a giant spider and it starts crawling up my leg. So, giant spider crawls up leg, which is kind of terrifying to think about. But the next question is this likely? Which is really important. That's not likely. That's never ever happened to me my whole life. And then last question, there's only 3 questions, is has this fear ever affected you at all in the past? For me, spiders, yes. I go into my bathroom, I go into my bedroom, and I see a spider crawling on the wall, or I see spiders in the corner not moving. So, yes. Seen spiders. Okay, so now what I have is spiders. Giant spider crawling up my leg, not likely, and I've seen spiders. So that probably took me about like 1 minute to do, maybe less. But it helps because you're literally holding your fear in your hands, so you have a sense of control and you feel like you kind of can tame it because it's, you know, right in front of you on this little sheet of paper. So you can just see it right in front of you, and it kind of makes it a little bit less intimidating and a little bit less broad. So here are kind of my tips. So the next time you have to face your fear, just think about this piece of paper, and it will help you, you know, and actually the more you face your fear, or the more you're forced to face your fear, it helps you overcome it because it kind of becomes natural and it becomes kind of a thing you've experienced over and over. So it becomes less scary because you do it so many times. Another trick is trick your brain into thinking that it's not as bad as it actually is. Like another one of my fears is spiders. I mean, not spiders. Needles. And last week I had to go get a shot, and instead of being worried all day at school before, which is kind of a waste because worrying doesn't do anything, I decided to try something new and think about needles being annoying. So I was just like, oh my god, I have to go get another shot. Takes away from my free time. It's so annoying. So by the time I got my shot, even though I was really, really scared, my mind kind of lowered my heart rate and it made me less nervous. So while the shot was happening, I was like, I don't want to do this. And then it was over. I didn't really feel the pain that much. It was great. So a lot of it is just like in here. So those are kind of my short tips on how to overcome your fear. It's going to be a long process. Don't worry. It's not going to happen in like
a week or even a month. So by conquering it in your hands, taming it, and getting yourself exposed to it and changing a mindset, over time your fear will go away, hopefully. So thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, make sure to visit our website, teenagecritic.com, and of course we have Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and if you have any topics for Heart to Heart, then email me at h2hasksydney@gmail.com. So I'll see you guys next week. Bye.
So the summer is winding down, so the Teenage Critic cast is gonna wind down too. Or maybe we're gonna rewind back to a segment that we did a long time ago. It's one of our best of segments, so stick around.
This is the story of us all. This is the first sound of a newborn child.
So, when we went to the Philharmonic Music School, I did an interview with the music director, Larry Raycliffe. I wasn't really sure what to expect going into it. I know he travels around a lot, and he's the head of several different orchestras, and he teaches at least one school in Texas where he lives, as well as he does a lot of stuff here at the Philharmonic, and not necessarily all the time, but at least sometimes he travels around to other places to do musically oriented things. So I really wasn't sure whether or not he was going to be some pretentious kind of person who would sort of shrug me off, but he really was pretty down to earth, and he had a lot of interesting things to say. So what made you decide to become a conductor?
Well, I would say one of the things was that I really loved music. When I was a kid, I couldn't get enough of it. And I loved the idea of lots of people coming together, almost like a sports team, but in a different kind of creative way. And when I was in maybe junior high school, when the band director was missing, I would, because I was maybe one of the more serious kids about music, I would conduct. Concurrent with that, on television, if you can believe it or not, on Sunday afternoons, there was a television show called The Young People's Concerts. And there was a man called Leonard Bernstein, who was an American hero. You have George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, Thomas Edison, Leonard Bernstein. And he gave these concerts that now are done all over the world, the idea that you bring young people together to go hear a concert. This music school here, Rhode Island Philharmonic, for example, couldn't exist without there having been a Leonard Bernstein.
Now, another typically American sound that's hard for some symphonic players to grasp is the sound of country fiddling. If you've ever been to a square dance, you'll know right away what I mean. Now, the great American composer Aaron Copland has borrowed this sound in his ballet Rodeo, or Rodeo, I guess you pronounce it. Listen to that sound.
And so I would watch him on these Sunday afternoons at 4 o'clock. I suspect long before you were born. Sad thought. And that was a tremendous influence on lots of people of my generation.
When I interviewed Larry, at first he seemed kind of hesitant and he didn't really know what to expect of me either. But as we started talking, he had some really profound insights into what music is all about and how his work has influenced other people and how his job teaches him things every day. So it was a really neat opportunity, and I liked getting to talk to him. So just tell me a little bit about where you're from and how you ended up here.
Well, I'm from Connecticut originally. I live in Houston, Texas. One of my jobs is conductor of the orchestras at the Shepherd School of Music at Rice University. And I have an orchestra in Chicago that I conduct also. And then I've been the music director here for about 15 years.
I'm assuming that you were probably a musician before you became a conductor.
I would first say that I think conductors are probably still musicians, but I started as a pianist, and then percussion was my main instrument. And a little later I took up the violin and studied some music education in university so I could learn about the instruments. but I've made conducting the center part of my professional life for some time now.
Right, so every time you turn on a TV and you see a sporting event or anything that has an orchestra, you always see a conductor, and I've spent a lot of my life kind of wondering what the role is and basically all of the skill that's required for it. So I'm just kind of curious as to what your experience has been like.
Well, conductors, maybe first and foremost, have to be psychologists. Like any teachers, they have to figure out a way to get people to get fired up, to really want to do their best, to reach the fullness of their human potential. On the musical side, one has to know the score very well that you're conducting, know the theory and the history behind it, know what it's supposed to sound like in your inner ear, have made your own dramatic interpretive decisions about how it's supposed to go, and then know how to move in a way so that it transmits to the musicians your oral image before they do it. Then, while you're leading them, you are ascertaining if what they're doing is what you heard in your head, while getting them to the next event and then sizing up what's different. And then that's when you rehearse.
When I went to the Philharmonic rehearsal, I thought it was going to be like really interesting, that there were going to be a lot of familiar songs I would be like well accustomed with because I was in the orchestra at my school. So, I had pretty high expectations. I got there a little bit early. I parked. Seemed fine. Seemed everything was going according to plan. We arrived at the VMA waiting for another girl. I don't remember her name. Probably because she didn't show up. And Jamie couldn't go, so it was just me and Lauren Tebow. And we went through the back entrance of the theater thing. And a lot of it was under construction, which is pretty cool because it's a really interesting space. And I can only imagine what they're going to do to it next because it's pretty huge and pretty ornate. So then they started, when we walked in, we had to tiptoe because they had already started the performance, and we stayed for about half an hour. It was really cool, actually. I didn't know any of the songs, but that's expected. And I really liked the whole experience of listening to a conductor talk to the members of the orchestra, because you have normally you just think the conductor's the guy that goes like this, but it's a lot more than that, actually. And you could really see the personality in him when he was directing the orchestra and everything. It was interesting.
So how often do you do performances with the orchestra here?
I come to Rhode Island about 8 weeks out of the year, which is basically 1 week every single month. And we give concerts at the Veterans Auditorium on Saturday nights at 8 p.m. and sometimes Friday at 6:30 in addition to Saturday at 8 p.m. And we try to bring the greatest of classical music to the public here.
Right. So what's your favorite part about being a conductor, and what's your favorite part about being a conductor here at the Philharmonic School?
I would say the favorite part is the same about being a conductor, is the deep privilege of getting to make music with people who care greatly about it. It's not like baseball. In baseball, you can get a hit 3 out of 10 times and be an all-star. In music, you get it right 3 out of 10 times and you're unemployed. We're talking about being able to do the art at the highest possible level so that the greatest beauty and sophistication can happen. And it's impossible to get that at 3 out of 10. You have to be living somewhere in the 9 out of 10. And so you have to find that the motivation of that hard work to be as joyful as the work itself.
After we were done interviewing Mr. Raycliffe, he and another administrator who we got a chance to talk to offered us tickets to the opening performance that was that night. So it was a really once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. It's a big event, you know, people dress up and everything, and you have to be in all fancy clothing and be silent for the whole thing. So they went through this whole performance that was just really nicely done, and it was really cool, although a couple of the people behind us evidently talked to Lara after, like during an intermission, and claimed that we were being loud even though our voices never went above a whisper. It was still a great show, it was a nice event, so we had a good time.
Hey everybody, it's Kira here for Food for Thought. Today we're gonna try bubble tea. Now I've never had it before. Michaela, have you ever had it before?
No, I haven't.
We're really excited to try it, and Sydney's gonna tell us a little bit about what it is.
Okay, so I pretty much have bubble tea every week, so I'm kind of the bubble tea expert. Okay, so this right here is bubble tea, and for those of you who don't know what it is, like Kira and Michaela, it's basically just like tea, usually in a plastic container with a big straw, and at the bottom there's these kind of squishy, chewy, like tapioca black things. It's kind of hard to describe. You kind of have to try it to know fully what it is, but it is amazing, obviously, and I would highly recommend trying it.
So let's go try it.
Okay, this is Sydney, and we're all in front of T-Lux, and Kira and Michaela are having their very first impressions, very first sips ever of bubble tea. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
I didn't get a bubble. Wait, hold on.
This is so weird. Whoa. You got one. I like this.
It's cool. I like it.
It is cool, right?
No, it's like weird at first when you're like chewing
Sticky.
your drink.
I know. Like little candies. This is so cool.
I have mixed feelings.
What flavors did you guys get?
I got
Green tea.
Yeah, she got green tea, and I got strawberry apple hibiscus. Not sure what that is, but
I know there's a bunch of bubble tea places even on this street alone and in a ton of other locations, but T-Lux is definitely our favorite.
now we know why everybody likes bubble tea so much. So thanks for watching Food for Thought, and stay tuned for what's coming up next.
Hey, this is Sydney again on Teenage Critic, and we've had a lot of fun here on Thayer Street. And if you ever want to meet us or chat with us or anything, we're usually here every Wednesday on Thayer Street, so you can see us there. And if you have any questions or comments or concerns, be sure to go on our website, teenagecritic.com. And I'll see you next week. Bye.